Today what we're starting with is this mono red midrange deck. Now I really thought we were going to get to this last week because this was one of the things I was most excited for, but I think it's a testament to how good the set is that we're just now getting to this. Price of Freedom, it's an extra Cleansing Wildfire. It can't target your own stuff, but it can target artifacts, so it's mostly better. If years ago, I guess pre MH3, for several moments during the MH2 metagame and also pre MH2. The mono red mid range decks that play cheap threats, cheap removal, card advantage, alongside mana disruption have been like an interesting dynamic in the modern world. There's I've forgotten the player's name. I'm sure someone in chat will remind me. But there's a player who's like famous for playing mono red mid range deck, and every time you try to play mono red mid range, like, oh, it must be this person's deck, but they've played every combination of every card. That inevitably, if you play the archetype, they have played that build, you know. Um, but a lot has changed in the modern world to make these archetypes worse. But also now a lot has changed to give this archetype more tools. Steel Cutter, super duper resilient threat that also lets you kill your opponent really fast is nice. And now we get to complement the wildfires with Price of Freedoms, with the Field of Ruins, and also with Sundering Eruption. Which is like a 3-mana Field of Ruin that's also an untapped MDFC that also makes creatures without flying unable to block, which is pretty relevant in your Steel Cutter deck, I guess. So you end up having 18 ways to disrupt your opponent's mana, but 10 of them are really incidental because they're just in your mana base, that's a dynamic I really like. We're also still testing Redirect Lightning. It didn't perform particularly well in the Is It build that we played. I'm interested to see if it performs a bit better in the more proactive build, or if it's just like a card that's like mostly relegated to sideboards or specific metagames. So I do think it's important to still test a couple copies. But I would love for a deck like this to be good. I think that it seems so much more viable with the shell than it did before. One thing that I'm really liking is that in theory, all the mana disruption is going to make it hard for your opponent to escape Flage, which is a big problem for this archetype too. Wolf Skull, yeah, MHayashi, that's right. Sorry about that. Shout out MHayashi. Wolf Skull with the 35, Gandalf with the 36. Thank you, welcome back. On the face of the 28, Aperion with the 25. Thank you all for the resubs. This kind of deck used to have 4-mana Chandra. Feels old, yeah. It did. I'm liking Pinnacle Monk as like kind of a bigger top end card. You can like get a nice 2-for-1 in the late game. That's also an MDFC. Kind of a painful mana base with 8 MDFCs that bolt you, but it's a little bit comparable to just a fetch land mana base. Funny enough. How do you feel about Osteomancer Adept in a Tyvar deck? Well, I always love to read a new card, although maybe I've read this before. Let's keep this in the draw, I guess. These kind of cards that are like, potentially you'll get to activate. Oh, we're playing against Merfolk round 1. Let's go. I guess okay. One thing, Titan, shocker, did really well at the RC. At least in America. Well, I didn't see the results for the other countries, but maybe Merfolk rising to try to contain Titan a little bit. Yeah, but these kind of like I would usually just rather have a good card. A good proactive threat that doesn't kind of require there be something good dead in the graveyard. Does that make sense? It's obviously better with Tyvar, but it's also a bit awkward with Tyvar because you have to already have something gone. Although my opponent's playing a deck that is going to be very good against all of my field effects here. Got second in the EU. Titan had 1-2 lists in every top 8 this weekend. Yeah, not surprised it did well. It seems like it, at least how the Goldfish metagame was looking, it seemed like it had a very good overall matchup spread. All right, I guess we're going to go Heat the Drowner. We want to do this while it's still... Wait, does this remove abilities? No, I guess I'm thinking of the other one. Shouldn't be a big difference, though. Hard to say no to a Lightning Bolt here. Yeah, we could go like Price of Freedom the Mutavault and Bolt the Mistcaller. We'll hold up Bolt this turn. Blink House on 1-2 top 8, so you are biased. You are so biased. Okay. You are biased. Literally, what did I say? I predicted Titan would have a good top 8. It has a lot of good matchups in the field. Is any of that untrue? Is any of that untrue? Get back to me. Found my Pop Tour with the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I think I'll hold up so we can kill a Harbinger, which would actually be kind of annoying for us here. I'm in the chat, not I. Sorry. Okay, I take it back. But yeah, I don't know. I predictably Titan, I think, was going to have a good event this weekend. Like, it just is good against a lot of the top decks of Goldfish. It had the best performance of the Pro Tour. It's like, not a lot changed, you know. I think it will continue to have top results for the foreseeable future. Found my Pop Tour with the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They reveal a Mindspring Merfolk, which I guess we'll save our bolt for here. Titan only had a 50.9% win rate. That's interesting. I would have expected it to be a lot higher. That's a good data point. I didn't see any overall win rates. I just looked at the results this time. I guess we're gonna bolt Oni's Trickster, Cozy's Trickster. Doesn't seem particularly helpful to keep on top. Like, we could cast it, but it's not really. It's not going to really be much better than a 1/1. It'll be a 2/1, you know. So we could save the other Seasoned Pyromancer by discarding Field and Bauble. Seems okay. I think I'm going to not. Got Delirium now. Objectively has around 51% where it's not the best stack and not the best conversion to 2. Yeah, I don't think I said the words Titan was the best stack. I said that Titan was predictably going to have a good weekend, right? If I said it was the best stack, let me know. It has also had, you know, like at the PT, it had like a 56% win rate. But I mean, it's interesting that it's going down. It is interesting that it's going down for sure. But yeah, I think Modern's in a good place overall. And also, you know, I don't think we've really realized exactly what impacts Modern or Avatar is going to have. Which I think is going to be kind of a dynamic, yeah, just a dynamic we don't know about. I think I just want to go Steel Cutter plus Heat next turn. I think that we want to get that extra thing. I actually probably even want to kill this Mindspring Merfolk. Draw X cards, put a counter on each Merfolk you control. Exhaust. I had one sweet Merfolk chatter recently tell me that Mindspring Merfolk is broken the other day. So we'll get to see if that's true. It's being targeted more in sideboards. A lot of people learn the deck. Yeah, that's a kind of an interesting dynamic too. They sacked the Mistcaller. That's not what I targeted. Oh, this stops the Steel Cutter tokens. If a non-token creature would enter. Okay. It's like I didn't think it did. Ooh, Sundering Eruption to stop them from being able to block next turn seems really fun, especially with the Ragavan in our hand. All right, so -1 Mindspring Merfolk for them. Although maybe they're just gonna block with all their stuff here, but I think that's also okay if that happens. Mindspring is pretty sick. I know, I just love that Merfolk players are like, we got Mindspring Merfolk, baby, and the universe of like Quantum Riddler, Felia, Quantum Riddler, Ephemerate, Wan Shi Tong. They're like, we don't need anything else. We got Mindspring Merfolk. Pretty bold attack. Yeah, I almost played 4 Ashiok's in the sideboard of a different deck earlier. Yeah, they could have just had the free block here. Maybe I shouldn't even attacked with it. Alright, they got a Flood Pits Durowner. I think they're pretty dead on board. They can't block with anything if this resolves, and it's going to resolve. Funny enough, I guess they did have the Harbinger. Just see like this draw was like they're playing a lot of like really techie cards. I guess Mistcaller makes a lot of sense in the like the Ephemerate metagame. It's kind of cool tech. Okay, so we're up a game against Merfolk. Let's bring in the Fire Magics. Now, admittedly, our Wildfire plan pretty bad against them, although killing Mutavolt's not too bad. Vexing Baubles against some of their free counterspells is probably something that seems nice. Like, I imagine that they're playing some combination of Flare, Force, and Subtlety. So I guess we just go down to like 3 Price of Freedoms. You have the fields also. Hard to complain too much about Modern when we get to play matchups like this. The gameplay also has been so good like the last week or two. Dunk with the 10 months. Draven with the 44. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm not playing a challenge today. There's just kind of too many decks to get to. I was also a bit worried we'd have an issue like we had Friday because people are still traveling from the RCs. Pithing Needle for Vile. I don't even know that they're playing Aether Vial. We have Price of Freedom that also kills Vile. Happy to continue listening to the band debate on this channel. Yeah, I know. try to steer the conversation away from it. I just try to make sure my points are clear, not getting misconstrued. Maybe the I mean the redirect lightning, they have like Dismember and stuff, but maybe the redirect lightnings are too bad. I'm not playing Urza Saga in this deck. I really encourage you, my sweet shatters, to not just slam Urza Saga in mid-range decks in 2025. I think it makes your deck worse for the most part. It used to be that making a Saga token was like comparable, like it was weaker than the average turn of your opponent's modern deck, but it wasn't so much weaker that it felt like you were just falling too far behind. And like in Urza Saga was like a kind of an okay grindy tool, especially if you could recur it, of course. But this is a 5-lander. Well, I do have a DRC and a Bauble and MDFCs. I think we'll try to keep it. It's like, it's just, things are just so different now. Ooh, that's a nice pickup. I guess I'll play this Sokenzan here. Things are so different. Like activating an Urza Saga is just such a weak play against like all of the other mid-range decks. Like all of the mid-range decks, they have like Felia Riddler, Ephemerate Riddler, Overlord of the Baelmerk, Guide Pride, Johnny Bombardment, Flage. It's like they're also synergistic and giving you like incremental value. It's just kind of impossible to imagine like Urza Saga recursion being an important part of your matchups, your plan in these matchups, and it's definitely not good against the linear decks too. So let's graveyard another Channeler, I think. Maybe get a little closer to Delirium. Gonna graveyard this Mountain. Now, they have a Master of the Pearl Trident. And then a Stern Scolding on top. Who's the aggro? I kind of think that with them having Master, they're the aggro. So I think this turn I'm gonna pump my brakes because it's also kind of like I'm trading 2 damage for 3 damage, which doesn't seem good. Do I like the yield to all button? Yeah. I was a little bit surprised that I left for a couple weeks and then there was such a significant change like that, but yeah, I do like it. So they're holding up the Scolding, so we could maybe Price of Freedom the island. Certainly thrilled just to like have my free creature block the creature they spent 2 mana for. That's an interesting draw also. But yeah, let's go ahead and Price of Freedom the island just to tap the Scolding that we know about from the Bauble. It'd be nice to find Delirium also. There's Delirium. It's also Lightning Bolt, which would also been nice. Oh, sorry, the price gives us Delirium. Okay, so let's attack for 3. I'm going to cast something second main phase. I saw Roku Saga said 4 mana, draw 3 in red. That card's interesting. The Karuk Saga is also a card that's kind of interesting to me as well. There's actually still like a couple cards I haven't even built a deck for. Because we still also have like so many decks in the queue. Gonna be doing longer streams. It's gonna be around 5 hours a day on the non-challenge days, and then maybe challenge goes longer, maybe goes a little shorter for at least this week. Hopefully next week too. Although I guess I'm also taking Thursday off this week for Thanksgiving, so we'll see. Yeah, just another monk token chomping up the adept. Although maybe I was just supposed to fire magic. I guess the fire magic wouldn't have killed the prowess token. Although if they force this, I'll be pretty happy I blocked. But I think this is good. Maybe I could have saved. But think this is going to be fine. How do you decide whether to do the Monday challenge or not? I tend to like to play the Monday challenge a bit later in the season. So like usually when it's this early into the set release, I find it's more productive to play leagues because we have a lot to test. And then later in the season we have less to test, but we have brews that we've hammered out a bit more. It's a new matchup. I think I would definitely keep this. I think I'd just keep because I have price into field. I think just leaning into that is going to be good against like most decks. And the decks that it's not, we have the Heat for. I've seen some Boris Lester running Roku Saga sideboard over Showdown. Interesting. Showdown just sees an extra card. I would think that might be better. Maybe not. Maybe Roku Saga gives more value overall. All right, we'll see how the field plan is against Titan. We've got Magus is in the side as well. They usually play 3 basics, right? Maybe it's 4. We found a decent Wong Chunk deck, or is it not living up to the hype? We found a couple decent shells for sure. Like the Demir deck we played recently, I think performed well, and I would definitely want to play it again. It's one that I was like, that was when I was going to play in the Modern Challenge, and then there's a Saga. Damn, just the natural aftermath analyst is actually a disaster here. Playing it the fairway. I think we have to hope they don't have another untapped land. And then, they are kind of restricted to the number of untapped lands in the deck. I would think the creature on the back is worth more than the Scald. I mean, I would say it's a combination. Yeah, then they just have the Natty Analyst. Oh, but they cast Scapeshift with no... Wait, are they going to get... Do they have 4 Crumbling Vestiges to get here? I don't think I've ever seen this line. Cool. All right, turn 3. Through 2 field effects. On the draw. No, wait. Yeah, they were on the draw. Okay, we're going to bring in the Maguses. Needle could be interesting, although it gets Besaged pretty hard. Redirect Lightning, pretty bad. I think we're going to cut the bolts. Just have the Heats as removal. The Surgicals definitely can be good. The Vexing Baubles are also nice against... Like, Vexing Bauble is very good against Scapeshift because it stops the Pact unless they have enough mana. Unless they have 2 more lands to go get Besage you. We need Vacuum. I think Surgical's a lot better than Vacuum because it's not in play. I'm a little bit concerned about Vexing Bauble plus Surgical. So I think I'm going to play Needle over Vexing Bauble because of that. They told me last week Aspiring was playing 4 color skate. I could not find the video. You have to dig a little bit on the YouTube, I guess, but it's in there. It was a bit of an older brew now, but one that I did like a lot. Okay, I guess I'm going to put back the Eruption. Could you splash Wang Tishang? So we have an Isn't Wand build. It's really hard to splash with our current mana requirements. I think it's also important to try the mono red build. So they have a forest on top. It's -1 forest for our fields. And then they accidentally F6 through their turn. Huge for our strategy in this matchup. Huge. Well, I can't pass back because then the Saga goes to chapter 3. No sporting here. I guess we should draw step. That's before the Saga triggers. A Dismembered. Okay, do I want a Surgical? I guess I don't want a Surgical to Urza Sagas because I just have a lot of answers to that. Yeah, we'll just stick to the draw step. Have I considered putting a link to the YouTube video of any specific deck on Mockfield? Someone had that suggested recently. It's interesting. It's not something I have implemented. Something I could implement. Or I would maybe ask my YouTube editor to do that because right now he handles everything. All the videos I don't record separately. He just is able to handle it, which is good for my process. Lets me focus more on the actual meat and potatoes of the stream. But it is feedback we've had recently, and I'm interested in implementing it. Yeah. Make a black man and they pass over there. All right, so a lot of times they play 3 basics. So I think it is good for us to just double field them here. Cannot surgical basic forests. All right, they do only play 2. They have a grazer for the Ragavan. Do I want to surgical any of this? Urza Saga is kind of a pain in the ass now. Elder Gargaroth is a blast from the past here. Because I didn't surgical the Vestige, this gives them enough. They can Echoing Deeps the Vestige and they can cast Spelunking. I've not seen this card in so long. It used to be actually pretty good in Modern. Scout with 2 years, thank you, welcome back. They Spelunk. Wait, did they have a forest in their hand? I don't know. No, they didn't. I don't know where the forest reveal came from there. Better to target forest than Echoing Deeps, I think, because our fields can need these to target. Yeah, I think we're just going to cast Seasoned Pyromancer here. Nice. 2 more Stone Rains. Oh, from Mishra's Bauble, that's right. So it is Green Sun Gargaroth Titan, 2 mystery cards. They have a Dismember, they main phase Dismember the Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't find the deck in either case. Try searching Ritual as one of the keywords. They get like a 6 here. Go for 2. What did it get? Is it Analyst? Interesting. We can try to keep them off the mana for this. I think Cascade Ritual is probably the title name you're looking for. Okay, so Stone Rain. Draw a card. And then here's a Magus of the Moon, which shouldn't really be very important to play this turn. I think I'm just going to go ahead and cast this, which will make their ability to like copy a bounce land much weaker. So their hand is Elder Gargaroth Titan Echoing Deeps mystery card. There's the Echoing Deeps, which just gets a basic forest here. There's also maybe some argument for trying to Sokenzan and block the Analyst, but then we do get got by a Lotus Field next turn. So, yeah, then drawing this, we'll just go play double Magus. I only find the Civic Ritual of Wang Shi Tong. The 4 color is also the one you're playing more than a month ago. My friend was fooling me and told me you were playing it last week. Yeah, your friend is wrong. This is an older brew. Yeah, this is a brew that was over a month ago old. Yeah, maybe that's what you're missing. Other people have started to pick it up like now. It seems like I played against it I think once or twice last week. But yeah, it was a deck that was pretty successful. I think 2 months ago now. But we played several times, and you could find older YouTube videos. I thought that's what you were looking for. Oh yeah, I forgot about the no block text here. Okay, I do wonder maybe if I should be having Green Sun for Analyst. Actually, seems like it might be a big part of this matchup. They're gonna go down a Ragavan since he just gets blocked by Grazer so much, and then down a Steel Cutter and play like 2 bolts. Also, bolt helps me get through Grazer with Ragavan sometimes. Okay, we got a bunch of fields. Might be a little slow, but I think we have to keep this kind of hand against Titan on the draw. Bolts converts the Raccoon. Yeah, I'm not sure if they boarded in, but maybe. They bolt a 6. Doesn't kill 6, which is a bit annoying. They're thinking about their 6-card hand. keeps their 6. Plays an Urza Saga, which we do have field for. They also have an amulet, which is scary, although we could Price of Freedom the amulet potentially. Although next turn we go Cleansing Wildfire into Price of Freedom the amulet. Although they have a 6, if they have turn 2 6, this is going to be pretty scary. Yeah, I know Amulet won Vegas. I'm not surprised Amulet had a good weekend. It seems like it's very well positioned, and and you could just kind of copy and paste that for the foreseeable future. That with 8 months, thank you, welcome back. I wonder if they have Lotus Field as their only like double land here. They're thinking about using that to play 6. That would be kind of an interesting dynamic. Okay, so then yeah, it looks like they do, and they're gonna go Green Sun for Grazer to put in Lotus Field to cast the 6. So now I do get to Price of Freedom the amulet, which is kind of an interesting dynamic. I think I'm always going to do this. Although I give them a land. Need to find an Unholy Heat sooner rather than later. I guess that's maybe a card we're not too upset to see. Let's see. So they mill a Crumbling Vestige, a Grazer, and a Green Sun Zenith. Their hand is going to be Vestige, Colossus Mystery card. They could retrace the amulet, discarding the Vestige, I guess. They do play the Vestige. They have 5 mana after playing this to cast Elder Gargaroth. Now we need to find 2 Unholy Heats, I guess. Or maybe just 1 for the Gargaroth. Another Price of Freedom. I think we're digging for Unholy Heat. Hey, hey Reed, welcome back. Can I say that you losing to Gargs is pretty great? You can say that, sure. It's been a while since I've seen Greater Gargaroth. I guess I'm a little bit curious what the idea is exactly. I wonder, like, if is it for the Boros matchup? Is it for prowess? Seems like pretty nice of both of those. They do find no land off the 6, which is nice. They do make a 3/3 also with the Gargaroth. That's also interesting. I can... Let's see. If I discard lands... like Field of Ruins and Seasoned Pyromancer, I do have 6 power to block the Gargaroth with. The last card is a Cultivator Colossus. Does it draw a card on ETB? Yeah. So it doesn't draw a card on ETB, so by itself it doesn't quite get there. But yeah, let's go Seasoned Pyromancer. I think. Oh, sorry, damn it! I need to do second main phase. So now I need to not get Delirium. So I guess we'll discard 1, 2. This Trample. Yeah, pretty cooked. Should have sorry, I should have done the second main phase. They have 6, they can retrace the Gargaroth. Yeah, that's true. I mean, just this is okay, super dead. All right, moving on. All right, on the play for round 3, keeping this. Gonna lead on Sundering Eruption, so if my opponent has Thoughtseize, they can't take me off my second land or keep me off my second land. Like, if somehow Titan is about Elder Gargs now, I can't help see that's a step in the right direction. I think it's kind of a weird point, because the thing is, like, you know, compare Titan, like, the fact that Titan gets to play these really good value creatures is maybe some issue that the turn 2 combo deck also gets to be such a good value deck, right? It's part of what makes it so hard to attack is, you know, you play all of these good cyber cards against the combo, but then it's hard to have answers to that and apply pressure to them while also battling stuff like Gargadon in 6. It's their deck is not about Gargaroth, but it's a very good tool in these kind of matchups, you know. Like Neoform is the other turn 2 combo deck, but it's not It's not ever going to cast Greater Gargadon against you, or Elder Gargaroth through 6 against you. Alright, so we're going to go Channeler Heat, and then another Channeler. Unless we see, you know, a 1-drop off the Ragavan. Very excited for this matchup. It's really important to see how good this one is. Exile Flage. I guess we can't be too upset. One less Flage. So Flage is kind of the big problem, and our solution in the matchup is to use these effects to kind of keep them off of the ability to escape a Flage. So we'll see how that goes. That is our plan. They've got a guide. You have another Pride. They do. So now my Ragavans are a bit dopey. Do I want Delirium to attack? I think I actually want Delirium to block. So let's go second main phase here. I am looking for a 1-mana removal spell. So like if I find that and then maybe I would have wanted to attack. But I think if we just don't find it, we want to be able to block if we also find Delirium. Neoform doesn't get to have a fair plan to play Muster Eruption, has consistency issues. Anyone gets to do it all consistently. Yeah. One good thing about finding it is we don't need to main phase it or anything. We can kind of wait to see what they do. We consider playing with white with Thales and Arbiter Mind Sensor. Yeah. We could go that direction. I think mono red is kind of where I want to go because I like how incidental the plan is. Like you get to play like just mostly the good stuff. All right, so I think we kill the guide. I don't hate Field of Ruin, but I think we need to graveyard this for Delirium more so than we want to keep it. It's also just not the best. But it would have been nice to go like play Field and play Spyro next turn. So they play a tap Sacred Foundry. And then presumably no attacks. Kind of hard to not cast the Unholy Heats. Although I think I shouldn't cast the Heat since it's pretty mana inefficient and I would probably have to Heat the Pride because we have to attack with both of these. So I think instead it's just better to have blockers and then try to have a more efficient turn next turn. Why not keep Mountain? I don't know. Like so we could Mountain for the Spyro turn, I guess, but like we do have better draws like Bauble. Maybe we didn't have better draw or enough better draws. We would have been able to bolt this turn. That might have been better. I'm not playing Zal. I don't think Zal's great. It also like is a bit weird in this deck that's just trying to give your opponent a lot of basics. So they're representing a Galvanic Discharge with this attack, so I think we just triple block. Could maybe double block also. No, then they would just kill the token. And it seems like they're a little stumped with this block. They probably will just let it go. Just like trade Pride for Ragavan here. Yeah, the old triple block, the 1/1. Alright, so 1 Galvanic Discharge on Seasoned Pyromancer. Coming right up. It's interesting that they still made this play, because it's not like at this point I would think killing a Channeler might be better, unless they have like another Pride or something that they care a lot about the 2/2 blocker. So they go to their second main phase, they sack the tokens, they've got 2 cards in their hand. Okay, I guess let's just get aggressive here. Graveyard that. Graveyard that. It's a little bit awkward to show them that we have redirect lightning in the deck, but probably not that big a deal overall. If we end up beating up on Boros really hard, and obviously it's way too early to say that that's something this deck does, but if we do, that ends up being a huge deal, of course. That's actually probably a good keep with the Steel Cutter double Channeler in play. Could leave this back for Ragavan. I think I'll do that. It's just gonna trade with the cat anyways if we attack too. Although I don't think they're that likely to have one. They do have a Thraben Charm to exile my graveyard. Sure. I think it's fine. So they have 2 cards in their hand after they draw. They play an Arena of Glory and a Seasoned Pyromancer. Thanks, Dalton. Yeah, this deck's pretty... This is the deck I was really excited to get to last week, but we just didn't get to it last week because the other cards are too exciting. Don't want to Ragavan at this point in the game. I'm gonna look at their top card because it might influence... Oh, I guess I'm just gonna shuffle with the Wildfire. Yeah. So I guess I should have looked after we Wildfire. This will be the 3rd type for Delirium. This is still 3rd type. It's also probably a... Okay, this is probably just a good keep, though. They can't block next turn, and it's probably a full Stone Rain. In fact, I think I should only attack with this Monk token, since if I attack with this one, they're going to trade here, and this Spiral can't block next turn because of the Eruption. Anti-Amulet Red. Well, we lost to Amulet really hard this league, so I don't know if I would call it that. In fact, I would say Amulet might be our worst matchup of the big decks, because like the field plan's just it's not terrible against them, but it's also just not like the most effective. So they did top deck a Flage. So they're at 9. If I cast this, then this is 5, 6. So if if I draw another non-creature spell, I think it's still 1 short. One thing that's interesting though is if I can draw the non-creature and stop them from cracking this, that ends up being a pretty big deal. I do draw a non-creature spell, but it's not one that I can cast to get the second chat mode here. So I go Sundering Eruption. They're basically at 8 at that point, presuming that they're only playing 3 basics. They can't block. They take 6. They go down to 2. I could also go cast Cori-Steel Cutter, and then I could equip Cori-Steel Cutter on this Monk token, get a pretty good attack in. Although I think they probably make enough of a block that I'm gonna just do this. Notably, not able to keep them off the Flage Escape this game with the field plan. So they're basically going to be at 5. Cutter and equip to Monk and attack seemed okay. It definitely seemed okay. I think this is okay also. Was not clear to me what the best move was. They flip over another Sundering Eruption, which I guess would not have quite won us the game. Obviously, the best draw is Unholy Heat. Another Wildfire would be kind of okay. We just get 2 Steel Cutter tokens. All right, kind of okay. Don't know if we're going to have an attack here. So they go block, block, then they go down to 2, and then we take lethal, so we can't send out. Although we found the Unholy Heat, which is obviously huge news here. Yeah, I think Bolt was a lethal top deck. They keep a card on top, and then their last card is a Goblin Bombardment. They might want to kill this, like. Yeah, I think trading Ragavan for the elemental token might have been good. Maybe not. So I think I'm gonna try to save this Monk token by equipping here. Let's see if they want to sack now. Okay, so if I go heat the Ragavan, they ping in response. That doesn't seem particularly effective. Are they just dead if I hit the Ragavan? So I go heat Ragavan. This is 3 power. I put them to 1, right? I put them to 1. I guess sorry, we just heat the sorry, obviously we just heat Flage now. So it took me a second. Obviously we just heat Flage because this is going to trigger the prowess. Obviously. Sorry about that. Took me a second. Oh, but then they just flaged the token. Well, I think it was still the move. I don't think there was necessarily a better play. So we're gonna be sending in for 7, putting them down to 1 potentially. I want to see what the top card they kept was. They kept another Ragavan. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna send it anyways, but they're gonna chump and then sack. I know we have Delirium. Are we gonna work any more on the Soul Trader from Friday? I mean, I think so. We trophied, or we got second place at the challenge. We trophied with it also. It's like, yes, the deck's been really good. Yes, we'll play it some more. I don't know exactly what our schedule for it's gonna be. So you're gonna cast Ragavan, maybe escape Ragavan and play Flage. Yeah, but we're like 9-1 with the deck and second place in the challenge and trophies. We'll play some more of it for sure. But there's also like a lot of other decks to work on. Only 3 basics worth noting. Yeah, that's pretty standard. I'm pretty sure you only have 3 types heat as the 4th. Oh my gosh, you're right. I thought for sure we had Delirium. My opponent also thought that as well. We just confidently heated it, I guess. So I guess they might also just bombardment the token here. So they've got no cards in their hand. Get 2 draws. That's a fun one. We can redirect the Flage target, but we might die. I think I should Price of Freedom here. If I draw a land, I can full mode this. And if I draw a spell, getting the Steel Cutter tokens is a pretty big game. So if I redirect the Flage, they stay at the same life total. I think I should see if my top card is Lightning Bolt, and then if it is, I should attack, and if it's not, I should not attack. So they're top decking. They top deck just an Arid Mesa. So they attack with the Flage. Presumably they target the Monk token. Could redirect Flage to the Flage. That's kind of interesting. The problem is now they can just escape. So that's not an option because they'll just escape. So if I redirect the Lightning here, I'm going to take 5 down to 7. And then the problem is, because I'm at 7, I have to chump block the Flage. So it seems like I should just hold it. I think I can also sometimes use the redirect Lightning to get my second spell for Steel Cutter this next turn. I can draw Wildfire or Heat or something. Not quite completely dead, but probably going to get Flage this game here. They also get a Surveil. Then they keep a card on top. Could we not have attacked and bolted them with redirect Lightning? What do you think? No, I don't know what you know what I mean by attack. Oh, so they gain the life off the Flage. We don't get to just deal. We don't control the effect. So they target me with the Flage. Does that mean they kept the Flage on top? Kind of seems like that's what they did. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go for the block here since it seems like they kept a Flage on top. We go to 2 when they escape. Oh, sorry. Oh wait, no, sorry. For some reason I thought Flage had trample. Never mind. I thought it was gonna be dead to the bombardment. We went to 4. I thought we were going to 4 because of trample. I know I said 2. I thought we were going to 4, and then I thought we were going to die to the bombardment. I don't know why all of a sudden I thought it had trample. So we need to draw like Pinnacle Monk, Unholy Heat, Wildfire into something, Seasoned Pyromancer into something. Not that. Okay, down again. Okay, so we're bringing in the Fire Magics. We're bringing in the Ghost Vacuum. I think we're gonna bring in 1 Surgical probably. Maybe you want to play more. I'm going to cut all the Ragavans. I think I want to keep testing Redirect Lightning in the matchup, even if it hasn't been testing super well. Usually end up liking one Needle against them. Could cut a Wildfire. Could cut a Bauble. Bauble's probably pretty important to keep in. Could go down a land. It's kind of interesting. I think we'd be 21 against them. Do you think this land destruction variant is better than the Boros Wildfire one? Do you mean, when you say the Boros Wildfire deck, I don't really know what you're talking about these days. I know you can build a deck that's like Boros with Wildfire, but no specific deck is really coming to mind. I think I did board out a land, but I think a hand that like this has just all the elements you need to win a game against Boros minus one land with a Bauble you just keep. Have we considered lead an Arbiter? I mean, we could play an Arbiter version at some point. I'm not opposed. It would be nice if you had some redundancy to Arbiter. I think the only option's Aven. Mind Sensor, right? 1 a.m. Will with the 31 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So I was thinking maybe if I saw like a Ragavan, I would just hold up a removal spell. Yeah, decks like this and decks like Wizards definitely have been taken out of the metagame in a big way because of Flage. And so I do think while the Wildfire plan can sometimes contain it, I don't know how, we need to figure out how consistent it is before main decking hate. But I do think if Flage just didn't exist, I think Is It Wizards would have been like a big player in the modern world, like the last year or so. Happy to see them draw basic. A little less happy to see Bombardment. I think I'm just going to hold up the field this turn. Because I can go Wildfire plus hold up Bolt, sus Heat, or I could just field. And these can target actual basic lands, and this one can't, which is the tiebreaker for me there. Although I guess now we need to go. This is so annoying. Well, I guess we don't have to. We can go field, and then they might just flip a Johnny in response to this. So we can hold up the mana, or I can try to just force the flip and then Steel Cutter the Johnny. I think we just hold up the mana. I think we can just chill. Why not bolt a Johnny response to token? I guess that was the move. I don't know why I didn't do that. So our next Wildfire is going to be it. We honestly could just Stone Rain them here and let them flip the Ajani. Seems kind of okay. We could play Channeler. Channeler's kind of weak against a lot of things that sacked Bombardment, because then they get to make the first move. Honestly, forcing the Ajani flip just does not seem that bad to me. Or letting them flip Ajani doesn't seem that bad. We go down to 14, and then they hit me down to 12, then they hit me down to 11, and then maybe it's that bad. All right, let's just play this tapped. I think playing a longer game with a higher life total is maybe just the move then. Graveyard's a Thraben Tribe. Thraben Charm. Plays an Arena of Glory, which they exert. All right, so I think we just takes 5, which is so much, and then we force the Ajani flip end of turn. Okay, now they're convinced I don't have a removal spell. They're not going to be able to escape the Seasoned Pyromancer with the Arena Exert and then also my field. I think I'll just target the Ajani. Maybe that's bad. Maybe they go Flage this turn and then I have to target this thing. So I could bolt into Sundering Eruption, going down to a dangerous 8 life. But this would let me go Channeler or Steel Cutter, Channeler. Oh no, I can't do all 4 anyway. So yeah, we'll just go Steel Cutter, Channeler, hold up bolts. And then we need to think about, do we want to hold the Sundering Eruption? It is a Stone Rain, but we also have the I think because we have the Ghost Vacuum, I think we should play to bolting the Guide of Souls, and then and setting up for a Ghost Vacuum that gains me life out of bombardment range. Really good blue black fire was inspiring. Any changes? We'll probably make a few little tweaks next time we play the deck, but I agree, I liked it a lot, and I will play it again at some point. Makes me play white over the fields and play Flage. We could make a lot of changes to deck. I think it's important to play this version now, but I agree we could play a lot of different versions of this deck. So they could sack 2 things. Another pile complementary loses to energy. Maybe we were like stomping them game 1, and then we lost to a single Flage. I think maybe we are really cold to energy, and I hope that's not the case. Another Steel Cutter probably good against this board. Alright, I guess I'll block the 2/2. Doctor, the 7 months, thank you, welcome back. So they got 1 card in their hand here. It's another spell? The 2 mana spell? Jeez. It's another Johnny. Oh my gosh, okay. The Is It Metalcraft deck, that was a breakout. I haven't seen it. I'll take a look if you link it. Let's see. I think we could do another one. Alright, keeping this on the draw. Yeah, send me the list. Tap Sacred Foundry, so it could be Jeskai, more likely than Boros, maybe with no 1-drop. So we did try some Quantum Riddler in Affinity, but we didn't explore it too deeply because I was like getting really bored of Affinity and really bored of Riddler decks. But this build has been popping up. We played against it a few times. The numbers are kind of interesting, like 3 Steel Cutter, 3 Riddler, 1 Preordain. It's cool. 2 Flame, definitely a lot of love and care. I need to be playing more Strict Serenades. Card seems to be good. I think we should be playing a Steel Cutter this turn because it can pressure the Ajani pretty well next turn. These Metalcraft decks were a thing before EOE and Emissary came out. I suppose not even playing Emissary. But yeah, I mean, yes, there have been plenty of... I guess what makes this Metalcraft? Like, there's no Galvanic Blasts. Yeah, I don't think I would call this... I would call this Wizards. I would not call it Metalcraft. Like Affinity Wizards. Moxoval has been out for a year. You know, that is the only Metalcraft card. Rebuke's not a Metalcraft card. Yeah, I feel like it's Is It Wizards, like, although they are only playing 2 flames. How is Inji back on top? Strong showing in all RCs. It is interesting. I would love to hear theories because I'm also a little stumped. It was kind of predictable. Can you elaborate on why it was predictable? Is it because Eldrazi's gone? Eldrazi isn't like super good against Boros. I feel like the matchup was always kind of close. I don't really know. Maybe the Tron build is a lot better against Boros. Like, Belcher was good against Boros, but it wasn't that good against it. It wasn't the PT, but I think in general it's not as crazy. I think people are hedging more against Titan. I guess. It could just be like the way people are constructing the decks. Frank mentioned that Is It naming briefly this week in Infinity was the Kappa Emissary. Well, I know that one, I guess, but I'm just a little surprised. I just feel like the Metalcraft probably needs a different name. Maybe Simic Ritual was like something that picked up a bunch to try to fight Titan, and then Boros was like really good against Simic Ritual. I feel like Jeskai pushed a lot of the unfair decks out of the way, except Titan. Blood Moon got a lot better because Boros is probably the best Blood Moon deck. I don't know. I kind of think Blood Moon sucks, but maybe this is me being a bit of a doomer. Maybe. They discard a Blood Moon and a Voice of Victory here. Now they have Kitty's Blessing, and then they can go kill my Monk token. Let's go to game 2. I think if we get crushed by Boros again, we'll probably pivot decks because this deck needs to not be as bad against Boros. It seems like it kind of is. I'm gonna go down to 1 Redirect Lightning this time. Cut the Ragavans, cut the Bauble. Wait, I have room for 1 more card. Oh, the Surgical. Maybe it's also because it's open decklist, so they could run 1 Blood Moon and have people play around it. Maybe. Belcher Neoform not being a big factor in metagame makes Boros much better. Yeah, apparently Neoform had a good win rate. I don't know what the numbers were. Whereas Ketchumos gone. Riddler just totally replaced Ketchumos. If Energy is coming back, I'm going to play the Black-White at Turtle Weekend and not just Jeskai Blink. So, there was a tournament a while ago. I can't remember which one it was. But it was like, Boros was like favored against the Black-White Blink deck, I remember. Despite like the general perception not thinking that was the case. So, take that as you will. I'm going to hold the Bauble for Steel Cutter for the first turn. / Channeler. Watching the games, it felt pretty Metalcrafty. Saga and big constructs rather than wizards, though Flame and Top is nasty. I guess, what does Metalcrafty mean? Like, this deck being called Is It Metalcraft? Like, that's not... I don't really... Like, when I think of something as Metalcraft, I think of, like, Galvanic Blast. I think for some reason a card like I think of Tempered Steel for some reason, although it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like I think of Etched Champion when I think of Metalcraft. So I guess it's a little confusing. Maybe I could save the Bauble to like Field plus Bauble Shuffle next turn. They play Opal. I mean, they play Mox. So it's an artifact. It plays Mox Opal. That card does say Metalcraft on it, but Mox Opal goes in, like, you know, it. I got it's about, you know, I don't know. They don't want to say Affinity. Well, they do need to distinct it from the Kappa Cannoneer Pinnacle Emissary deck, where that's Affinity. Although I guess to be fair, Affinity doesn't really play Affinity cards as Thoughtcast. I guess it's fine. Affinity doesn't play Affinity cards. Oh, come on. How do they have Vexing Bauble? I guess they have gets my Surgical too. I cannot believe we just got my Mishra's Bauble Vexing Baubled. Unbelievably punished. Okay, well, let's not play the Channeler into a Flage. Imri has Affinity. Oh, that's true. This deck plays the same amount of Affinity cards. Although it doesn't actually say Affinity for... Does Imri say Affinity for artifacts? It's the same thing, right? But I think Imri technically says, like, cost 1 less for each artifact you control. It's updated. Okay. Errated. Cool. So I think I want to get my Surveils off these bolts. I think I do want to cast the Pinnacle Emissary this game. I think I'm also going to keep attacking their mana here. Do you look at the 4 years? Welcome back. Glad you're still liking the stream after all this time, huh? I think we gotta hold up just 1 bolt. Maybe we get kind of punished for this. But if they tap for discharge here, then we can bolt the Ajani, which I kind of like. They have Thraben Charm? Not a lot we can do about 3. I mean, I'll just get my Surveil, I guess. We can't get Delirium off this. We don't have any cards with 2 types. Could keep that for the Monk. I think we'll be so devastated if we draw 2 lands. We've got another Surveil, another draw. We could keep this one. I think we'll just eventually cast this, though. Not really in a rush to cast the Monk here. Velcro with the 26. Thank you. Welcome back. And Daniel with the 45. Hope you all are doing well. The new Ninja Turtle worded with Affinity. I haven't seen... I don't remember a lot of these damn turtle cards. I keep forgetting there's about to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. Point is, it's too big an artifact package to be called Wizards. Too few artifacts are called Affinity. Probably Izzet Cutter. Well, Izzet Cutter is a bad name because Prowess. Like, Prowess is the Izzet Cutter deck too, you know? It may be an impossible deck to name. They discard a Flage, they discard into Johnny. Yeah, I think we may be cooked. Can't even draw the Surgical. We could draw another, maybe we should target a plane so Field of Ruin could stop them. Although I guess Field of Ruin will be able to get the Marsh Flats land unless they save it. Okay, I'll concede to Flage. Just move on, I think, for now. Breachless Breach. I think that's... the deck does seem very hard to name. The deck does seem very hard to name. All of these options seem awful. Including the ones I came up with. Okay, so I think what I want to do...